Hello and welcome to Happy Cells and Souls. My name is Julie Powers and I'm a licensed Zumba instructor and I'm a business partner with the Juice Plus company. And my missions in life are to help people understand that life is so much better when you're dancing through it and to inspire healthy living around the world. But my expanded mission is to create better health at the cellular level and more joy at the cellular level, because we only get one body while we're here and we're supposed to be happy and joyful while we're here. And while we're here, we should be able to, meet and learn from pretty much every single person that we come in contact with, because everybody has a story to share. If we keep our hearts and our minds open, we can learn from everyone, even if we don't share the same values, political beliefs, religious backgrounds. It doesn't matter. We can learn from everyone. And today, we get to learn from my amazing friend, Lisa Ider, who we were just trying to figure out how long we've known each other, and we've narrowed it down to about 6 years that we've known each other. And what I love about Lisa is that she has pretty much taken stress, sickness, disease for herself, for her family members, and she turned that pain into passion. And she created something through education and action to help people with what they're putting on their largest organs, their skin. And our bodies are so much of our temples, right? We're supposed to take care of them. And so Lisa, you have a company called Train Naturals, and it's this amazing company that just sort of evolved that you didn't really have a plan for, right? And so I would love to know, and everybody who happens to find this video would love to know how this got started. Tell us your story.
Well, Julie, thank you for having me on here today. It's a pleasure to share my story with you. I know you know a little bit about it, but basically sickness found me and my family. We have some bad genes, I think, and I have lost 3 siblings, and both my parents have cancer. And I also have a niece who is fighting with breast cancer. So it just seems like the legacy is continuing. And in my journey, one of my first diagnoses, I ended up going into a coma, myxedema coma it was called. And I had to learn how to talk and function again. And in that process, had a lot of other autoimmune diseases. So had a few close to death experiences. I was newly married and having babies. Don't really know how all that happened. I couldn't raise my 30-year-old at the time, her first year of life. My mom and dad, we had to move in with them. And my family came alongside me and supported me. But in that journey, I started to explore not only the whys, but how I was going to pick myself up. And I wish I knew then what I know now. But I think helping my family members try to fight the fight of cancer and to study herbs and, apply myself to education and try to create some of their medicine for them as they chose to go natural and fight this. My sisters were very dear friends to me and I miss them really terribly. But I've learned a lot as I've watched them. I respected them. They were my biggest cheerleaders because, they believed in what I was trying to do for them. I can't quite say extended their life, but their oncologist did say that by the choices that they were making, that they probably gained years. They did a lot of juicing, just a lot of natural things. So in this process, people by, I think, relationship started to reach out to me and ask me to make things for them, whether it be physicians making medicine or just friends making salves for conditions. So it was a ministry for a long time. And I also
you were already making them for yourself and for your family, and they sort of heard through the grapevine that you were doing this.
I think it's through relationship where somebody would knock at the door and they would say, you made this salve. And I'm like, oh no, we were in New York State and the laws are a little intimidating. And then they would go so far as saying, no, your niece works with my friend or whatever. And so they would come in, I would give them salve. That's kind of how it started. Like I was the salve maker. But really and truly, we have to go back a little bit because there was a man in his family that poured into me and poured into my family. And I remember he got on a train and spent the whole weekend educating my family about juicing and fasting and cleansing. And he was tutored by a man who still exists. And we learned a lot from him. I learned a lot about, cayenne tincture and blood and comfrey, and he still is alive, and his family's wonderful. And I really owe a lot of encouragement. They never started a business. He just poured into people and never took
Right.
money. And so my passion was the same. I never wanted to take advantage of someone who couldn't afford to fight the fight. The industry of disease is so expensive. As soon as you
Right.
have an illness title, it's like, you might as well knock on some dollar signs. So I wanted to be able to give back what I was given and to help bless people. And then one day it turned into a business because I had a woman say to me, I don't want to come here and have you give me any more tinctures. I want to be able to buy them from you. And I knew she didn't have money, so it was hard. So I want to make sure that what I do is affordable for everyone, because nobody has an excuse to not be able to afford to make a good choice.
Sure.
Water free and we can drink more of it. So we can just start by making small steps, as much as it is, whether we move more, whether we drink more water. What we're putting on our skin is extremely important. So I found that throughout the years of my battle, that I probably, if I didn't do what I have done, I probably wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
So my health isn't perfect, but my journey has been long, and I am very excited about the future. And I learn more every day. I don't have all the answers. If I don't have the answers, I go try to figure it out. But
Right.
basically, the things I use, I make. And, I have a standard that is high because I know, I would react. I know that my sisters wouldn't be able to use those things because of their hormones or because of the cancer. We had estrogen fed cancer in the family. So we have to be very careful of those precursors and something that would trigger a hormone effect.
Mhm.
So, that's a short version. I think my journey still continues. I still have things that I'm dealing with, fighting with,
But we all do. We all have our
Yeah.
things, right? And
and
that's something that you and I have discussed at length, is that we don't know what everybody's story is. We have no idea what has happened before they make a decision to make a change and start something new that might be a healthier version of what they were doing before. And a lot of people, like you said, you didn't know better back at the beginning, right? But when we know better, we do better. So you've learned so much that it's just second nature to you to always consider, what is the healthiest choice right now? What is the best ingredient that I can put into this particular product that I'm making so that someone can make a better choice? And why is that so important to you? I mean, I know why it's important to me, and I know why I purchase products from you personally, because I don't want all the nastiness that's out there. But I didn't know that for a long time. If it's on the shelf, doesn't it have to be safe? That's what I used to think, but now I know better, so I can do better. So tell me about that. Why is it so important to you, besides your family members, picking the ingredients that you have? And what would you say, is the most important thing to you?
well, I tend to coin myself as a conscientious person. So I'm a conscientious buyer, I'm a conscientious consumer, I'm a conscientious creator. And so those that buy from me, I know I've earned that respect from them, because they know that my choices for myself, whether it be plant-based preservation or no preservation at all, there's a lot of companies out there that say we don't preserve, where I don't want to, that's a no-go for me, because if you don't preserve, then you have yuckies, and yuckies you don't see, and yuckies
Right.
would
You
be
don't want the mold. You don't want the bacteria. You don't want these things growing in something because you didn't preserve it properly. But you also don't want to use the stuff that's synthetic and chemical and going to do more harm than good.
yes. And plant preservation is not always available depending on what product you're doing, but there are things in percentages, like water, for example, is a very dangerous thing. We can drown in water. We can drink too much water and drown. So I look at it like perspective. If you're even with essential oils, there are some essential oils that can be very dangerous if not used properly. So it's all about using and studying the science behind because we're all chemicals. My body's a chemical, your body's a chemical. So the word chemical has been used and thrown out there in scaremongering, and I won't do that. I'm not going to scare people. I think I want to encourage people to educate themselves, to learn,
Sure.
and not be afraid of I mean, research a product, look to see what they're using, look at the label, ask questions. So I do that, and I've been really blessed to get to know formulators and to work with them, so that if I have a question, they can help me tweak something. So I also have some of my products now being formulated for me, which are my formulations, but I have contract manufacturers working. So I mean, that's only a few of them, because I
Right.
can't tackle it anymore, or because it's
Because
going on
you've
the
grown too
eye.
much, because there were too many people that needed what you had to offer. And so, yeah, you're filling a really important need.
I also want to make sure everything's tested. So I have the third party testing on all essential oils. All my products go out for testing against microbes, so I can make sure what the shelf life is. And so there's a conscientious, um, I don't know what the real term is that I'm looking for. Maybe you would know, but I feel like my customers are like family to me, and I talk daily to people. I get questions. I'm coaching daily, and health coaching has been a long journey, even throughout the worst of it, even throughout the sickness of it. That everybody can do something better today to make their tomorrow
Sure.
better. I
Sure.
look at the pebble, and I know we talked about this earlier, that there's a ripple effect, and my little pebble I can throw into the water, and it may be my grandchildren watching or my children watching. It may be when my kids were little, I would go drive miles to get them freshly juiced juice because I knew their bodies needed it. And I know some of my kids didn't have sugar until they were after 10 years old. They didn't even like cake. So I think all those seeds pouring into their life now, as they are adults, I have some adult children and some still teenagers, they look and they say, Mom, we really respect how you eat and how you live, and how, even though you struggle with sickness, because we know the choices you've made. And that just feels really good
Right.
to know
Right.
that, if I have success in my journey at all, they are my cheerleaders. They are so excited to stand behind me thinking, you've done everything and this is working. Wow. So
Yeah. Because you don't know where you would be if you hadn't made those choices. It could have been, really, really bad. And you might not be here. Who knows?
I don't
Um,
think I, but
yeah, I mean, you've had some pretty extreme things happen. And, what's so great about what you said your kids are saying to you is that they're always watching,
Mhm.
and that's something that a lot of parents don't really think about, is that we can talk, 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 but they want to know what we're actually doing, because actions speak so much louder than words. And if they're watching our behavior and our choices, even if we're not like pounding it into their heads, they're going to learn from that. And they're going to start picking up on things and go, huh, interesting. Maybe I should try that. And I think that's what you've done. And especially in that, we talked about the whole, when life throws you lemons, you make lemonade. And, you've not only had life throwing you lemons, but you've had life pelting you with lemons. And you could have just ended up, sort of shielding yourself and having all kinds of bruises from lemons being shot your way. But instead, you literally picked up those lemons and you not only made lemonade, but you made all kinds of other things. And what would you say some of your favorite products are that you've been able to create?
oh, it's so hard. I'm the one that uses up all the empty containers. So I do have a routine. Like if I was going to be put on vacation, or if I was going to be put on a desert island, what would I grab? I do have that, what goes in that cosmetic bag. But I would have to say, I do use a bar soap for my face.
Uh-huh.
I know that I do love my antioxidant facial wash and all those things, but I use my complexion bar. I love it. I love it. It's amazing. It makes my face so soft. And I'm a real believer in serums. So I have a facial serum and a lip and eye serum. I tried to do without the lip and eye serum because the facial serum came on board and was so nice and absorbing and soft. And I would put it on under my lotion. And then I had some customers that said, you can't do that. The lip and eye is different. So I'd still making both. I think I wish when I was younger, I would have known to take care of my lips. Like,
Mhm.
you know, I wish somebody would have told me. So now everybody's looking at my lips, but I do believe the lip and eye serum really does work. And, you know, a lot of people are uncomfortable if they have acne prone skin to put those things on, but you can't hydrate enough. And
So what is the difference?
uh,
We have 5 minutes left. So what's the difference
ingredients.
between, a serum versus a tincture
Okay.
versus a salve versus a lotion? You know what I mean? Like there are so many things that people would be like, well, I don't really understand what that means. What is a serum versus a lotion? Because I know what it is in my mind, but maybe I have it wrong. So can
So
you give
let me start with
tutorial?
tincture. Okay, so there's tinctures can be either made with glycerin or with vodka.
Oh, hang
Vodka
on. It
is
just
the
froze up. Can you do that again?
yes. So let's start with the tincture. The
Okay.
tincture can be made with glycerin or vodka. It basically is the glycerin or the vodka that removes the herbal properties from the herb. So it's a medicine, so a glycerin or a tincture. Some people don't feel comfortable giving tinctures to children. I always did because you put a drop under the tongue, it bypasses the stomach, and it isn't like they're drinking alcohol. But if
Right.
you're uncomfortable with alcohol content, you can light a match underneath your spoon or your tincture bottle, or you can put it in boiling water and have it as a tea. So that's medicinal. That is treating the inner part of your body.
Right.
The serum, a serum is a more potent. I may get this wrong, but it's more, everything in it is higher concentrated and it's for specific issues. So wrinkles, serum is good for wrinkles,
And
and
it looks more like oily, right?
and it's more expensive. It is thinner. A serum is thinner.
Right.
It's generally more expensive because you're getting the ingredients that are fighting ages. It's the bells and whistles.
Right.
So then you got your lotion. I have lotion that has bells and whistles in it. And then I have the Renew, which is really an amazing, I still love it. And I have a lot of men that love it. Even though it doesn't have the bells and whistles, I still use it. And my daily dew is amazing. It just has a scent that's higher than the Renew. So if somebody is super highly sensitive, which I still love the scent because it's the kind of scent that's good for skin. So if I scent something, there's a purpose. There's a
Right.
purpose behind everything. Like if there's lavender in it, it's okay. Now I'm digressing. So the salve is also medicinal. So a salve would have a tincture.
Oh,
But I have
it
people.
keeps freezing up. Hang on.
No,
I don't know what happened to the connection, but you said a salve is different because.
a salve is like a tincture in that a salve is a medicine. It
Okay.
treats wounds and burns, but I have people that use it for their skin. I have people that order salves by the quart and they want to use it as a facial lotion. And so
Ah,
that is good. And I have used it like under my eyes and stuff. I experiment with everything. It's all about what you like. You know, what do you prefer? What were you taught growing up? What are
right.
you convinced you need?
Right.
But
Well, and two, every single person is so different that our body chemistry is different. Like I'm allergic to a lot of things that other people wouldn't be allergic to. Things that I'm very sensitive to. Somebody else could put a whole bucket on them and not have a single
yeah,
problem with it and they would love it. So yeah, I mean, it is trial and error to make sure that you get what you need for your body. But I love that you have so many different things to fill so many different needs. And if somebody wanted to go and check out everything that you have to offer, what is the best way for them to see most of those things?
so I have Etsy shop. It's Trey Naturals with a space, and I have a website that's just treynaturals.com.
Mhm. And I'll
Um,
put that
that
in the text so that it's
I
written out for them.
have a Facebook presence and a Instagram, and I do respond to emails
Okay.
and messages and I messenger. I do that pretty daily. People reach out. So Etsy, are you there?
I am.
Am I stable? Okay, it said my internet connection was unstable. Sorry. So I don't know if I answered your question.
No, you did. You did. I mean, there's a lot to learn. You've been researching this for years, and you have so much education about each of these things that, here we are just learning the tip of the iceberg, and there's always so much more to learn. And you're continuing with your education, always improving what you're doing and creating new things that fill new needs for people. And you've called yourself very conscientious, which is true. And I know you from many conversations over the years, and from what I have purchased from you, and always very pleased. And I think that people need to understand that what they put on their body and put in their body really makes a difference. You cannot treat your body in a way that you think is okay when it's really not. And you need to understand and be your own advocate for yourself, and make good decisions based on what's best for your body. And all natural stuff is always going to be better than a lot of synthetic things, right? You don't want to just have a bunch of synthetic stuff that you're smearing on yourself or putting in your body. You're just, like we always talk about, real food and real water. It makes a difference. Yeah.
And we can start today making one healthy choice.
Yes, absolutely. One simple change at a time. All right. Do you have any last words that you'd like to say before I close up this call? Oh, it's freezing up. It's freezing up.
No. It says I have a good connection.
Okay, now I can see you. I can hear you. Okay.
I'm so sorry. I would say to start today. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't watch everyone else make good choices, because the doctors will tell you that when you were 3 years old in the sun, we have to start. And if we don't, I think we live in a generation that wants immediate gratification.
Right.
To plant those seeds today. Start growing your trees today.
Yes,
that's what I would
say. Start today. Yes. Thank you so much, Lisa. I really appreciate your time, and I hope that whoever finds this message will learn something and be able to make better decisions. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.